Hey everyone, I'm excited to talk to you about all things maker. This week we're going to focus on a challenge called the Trophy Challenge. Good job, very good. I like it. This is a maker project that I like to do at the beginning of the year. It's a real powerful project for kids and for teachers as we all get to know each other. The idea behind this maker project is for kids to interview another student. So we're starting off the year with a bunch of kids who don't know each other. So let's interview another student and we're going to try to find out some information about them for the Maker Challenge. We want them thinking about others in the classroom. How can I serve others? How can I make other kids happy within my class?
Making something for somebody else really warms my heart to see them liking it.
Oh, that's good.
It felt good making a trophy for somebody else because I usually always make something for myself or my parents and then they give it back.
When you start your philosophy from the beginning of the year that we are here to grow together, we are here to serve others, it sets up a year of magic as far as classroom community and service towards others. So this first project's really powerful in that it starts kids thinking about others first. The first question is, what is one thing that you're really proud of that you want the rest of the class to know about it? We want to start the interview with a process of the kids getting to build confidence and to build self-esteem and for the kids to learn ways to shine and let the rest of the class know that, hey, I'm here and I have something positive to offer. So they ask questions about something that they're proud of. Then we move on to two other questions. These questions are based on challenges or obstacles that these kids face in their lives. So one of them is going to be, what is an obstacle that you want to overcome this school year as it pertains to school? And it could be anything. It doesn't have to be academic, but it can be. A lot of the kids will focus on things like math. They'll talk about things like spelling or certain aspects of their academic career that's been a challenge for them and they want to overcome it this year.
Some of them are going to be sticking out, like a book,
Okay.
because he wanted to read more. He also
So the book's because he wants to read more this year?
Yeah,
Okay.
and he also wants to get better at spelling, so I'm going to get an index card and write stuff on it for spelling.
Nice. Feeling good about it?
Yeah.
Other kids will talk about things like the playground. I typically don't do well on the playground. I get a lot of trouble on the playground. I have trouble making friends on the playground. They'll talk about cafeteria. They'll talk about making friends. But it's a really powerful conversation that the kids have with each other. And as teachers, as we walk around and watch these interview processes take place, it's a really powerful conversation to hear a kid talk about skills that we don't even know that they want to acquire or weaknesses that they have that they're holding within. So the kids are interviewing and finding out these challenges and obstacles that they want to overcome. And one of those obstacles has to do with school and the other one has to do with outside of school. So they talk and I give them guiding questions and then I talk to them about how to probe for more. So if a kid says, for example, I want to get better at math, they say, okay, tell me more. Or can you give me more info? Because we just don't want to have the idea that they want to get better at math because math is a broad topic. Maybe they want to get better at their times tables. Maybe they want to get better at fractions. Maybe they want to get better at word problems and things of that nature. So there's a lot of challenging. Then the roles reversed. The other person grabs out their interview sheet and they start interviewing as well and doing the same types of questions. So here's where the magic happens. Maker has a lot to offer. Maker has so many different aspects that can build a kid's character. Maker has a lot of opportunities for kids to shine in areas that we didn't know about. Now they've interviewed each other, they got all their information, and now they're going to separate and they work themselves over to the Maker wall and they start thinking, what can I do to represent that one strength and those two obstacles? I want to turn my interview process into a trophy that I can present to my teammate. They start sketching some ideas, they start thinking about how am I going to show that a kid wants to be a better friend? How am I going to show that a kid finished first place in a swim meet? How do I want that to be represented with a bunch of random supplies back here? So the kids will dive in and start planning. They have to sketch, they have to have ideas, they have to think about supplies, and I have a sheet that's very specific for them to fill out. After they have their plan done, they come show it to me. Now I'm a stickler for expectations and I want them to do their personal best. They can't come over and show me some sketch that doesn't really represent anything or the write-up about it doesn't give me any detail. I want to know what your plan is and how your mind is thinking. Because there's two reasons why I want to do that. One, I want them to value the idea that they're going to plan in life and they're going to set goals in life and they're going to have expectations for themselves. The second reason is almost every maker project that any child has ever done for me has failed early on. Because you have an idea, you have a plan, And then you go over and start working with it, and some of these materials are hard to work with. You can't sculpt something to a circle real easy. You can't make a curve out of certain products. So then they have to go back and figure out a new philosophy. So it's nice to have that first sketch plan that's done at a high level, and then at the very end when their project's done, that conversation is like, wow, this really is different than what you had in mind. Tell me about it. So now they're talking about re-strategizing, how they struggled with the material. They're talking about perseverance. I mean, it's a powerful conversation. Once that plan is turned into me and I look at it and say, this is well done, looks like you're doing your personal best, I'm excited for your plan, I create some excitement for them, then they go start making. These two kids will make on different parts of the classroom because I don't want them to see each other's product. So they're gonna work, they're gonna have glue guns out, they're gonna have cardboard cutters, there's things that are a little bit too dangerous for them to work with. I will always take care of that, but glue guns in 4th grade, totally doing that. Cardboard cutters, I did for this first project, but I will have training sessions for them, and they'll totally be able to do it from here on out. Now they're creating, they're coming up with ideas on how they want to best represent this product for their peer. When they're done making their trophy, we'll hide them from each other, and when we have that certain time frame where it's due, then we start doing presentation. They get up on that stage, they stand across from each other, and they present.
And then there is a cookie on the back because she told me she wanted to get into Girl Scouts, so I put that on there. And she said she wanted to get better at reading. So there's a book.
And so now we're working on communication skills too. Maker is a lot about, at the end of it, I have to show this to an audience, I have to present this to someone else. I have to talk about my process on how I got there.
In the interview, Adam said he wanted to get better at following directions, so I made a tiny little person reading instead of walking around and talking to his friends.
We're gonna work on this, and I keep this video of their first performance all year long. At the end of the year, we'll watch this one and another one that they do at the very end, and it's almost comical for them to say, wow, look how much better I am at this. Look at my confidence, look at my hand movements, look at how I present, look at how I use my vocabulary to express how I did my project. And so when they're done, it's really cool. They present it to the person, they talk about what they want to achieve. The magic part about the presentations is this. As a child's up there presenting to another kid and they start talking about, here's a challenge I want to overcome. In our school, kids do this thing like this where they will point back and forth to each other. And it's meant to say, I've made a connection with that person. So for example, a kid could say, I'm really struggling to make friends in the playground in the past. And this year, I want the playground to be an amazing experience. And they'll look out across the room as that's happening and other kids are going, me too. Me too. So we're having those connections right off the bat with this get to know you activity, this maker project at the beginning of the year, but they're also forming friends. And it's amazing. This is over. We'll go to the playground that day and I'll see those kids kind of meander in the same direction. And all of a sudden those kids who are going through the same issues are all of a sudden becoming friends on the playground. All different types of connections are being made during these presentations and kids are constantly saying, ooh, me too, me too. When it's over, I take the trophies back. And I put them somewhere to secure them for the rest of the year. And when the year is over, we bring them back, and the kids will come back to their trophies and come back to their interview sheet and come back to their sketch plan and say, look what I've overcome. Because you better believe if a kid comes up in my class and tells me that they have a challenge that they want to overcome, we are going to have a goal setting session to figure out how we can overcome this obstacle. So this is a really powerful project for kids. The part about Maker that I love the most is that we are not telling the kids how to make the project. We are not giving them a fixed target to shoot for. We're giving them a target to shoot for in the sense that I know what my end product has to represent, but they don't all have to look the same. And you'll hear when my kids are interviewed, they talk about this. Maker is amazing in that they all have different ideas and they create the process. That's what's powerful about Maker. They create the process to how they're gonna get to the end solution. So thanks for joining us for this video. Make sure you click that subscribe button, click that bell for notification. Put your comments below, share what you're doing, ask questions. I'll jump into the comments and answer those questions as they come in. Make sure you click subscribe as these videos will come out every couple weeks. Thanks everybody. Make on.